Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Dr. Amani Abu Zaid, Commissioner for the Infrastructure and Energy, the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Dr. Nardos Bakala, Chief Executive Officer, Union Development Agency, Auda Nepad, Your Excellency Mr. Clever Getete, Undersecretary General and Executive Secretary of the African Union, the Economic Commission for Africa, Your Excellency Dr. Alamu Same, Minister, the Ministry of Transport and Logistics at the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, and the Chairperson for the African Union Specialized Technical Committee on Transport and Energy, Honorable Ministers, Ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening of the 8th PIDA Week, a pivotal event for advancing Africa's infrastructure development agenda. Welcome. This year's theme, fostering resilient and inclusive infrastructure for Africa's sustainable growth, leveraging transformative financing and regional integration, is what we're here for. And thank you very much for the warm applause on the welcome. Africa is on the rise is a statement of fact, not a motivational concept preached. From Lobito Corridor Rail Line in Angola to Abidjan Lagos Highway Project in West Africa, from the pride of Africa, the biggest hydroelectric dam, the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, to solar energy plants in South Africa, from new airports in Rwanda to the Lesotho Highland Water Project, from Addis Ababa winning the Smartest City in Africa competition to Morocco ranking first in infrastructure improvement in African countries in 2024, followed by Egypt and Mauritius. Africa is truly on the rise, and it's visible. But we still have a long way to go. And Africa is proud to have you, ladies and gentlemen, all here together to work on reaching that goal. At this moment, we will watch a short documentary on this PIDA Week. Across Africa, a transformative journey is unfolding, one that aims to connect, empower communities, and unlock potentials. This is the vision of the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa, PIDA, one of the programs of the African Union Agenda 2063. The African Union Development Agency and the African Union Commission, in collaboration with the African Development Bank, Africa, and other key partners, envision a continent crisscrossed and seamlessly connected by a network of world-class infrastructure. To drive sustainable growth,
PIDA is concentrating on four critical sectors: transport, energy, water, and information technology. From highways and railways to air and sea transport, PIDA is transforming the way people and goods move across the continent, creating seamless connections that will unlock new opportunities for trade. Of roads and 4,000 kilometers of railways developed. Our journey continues as we empower communities and drive growth. Access to energy powers economies. With 232 gigawatts of total installed capacity and 7 gigawatts of hydroelectricity, PIDA is not just lighting up communities, but is also boosting productivity and creating jobs, all while promoting environmental sustainability. Water is life, and PIDA's projects ensure efficient management of Africa's shared water resources. By improving access to clean water, we are supporting both health and economic prosperity for millions. As the digital world transforms, PIDA is bridging Africa's digital divide. Through enhanced internet connectivity, we are opening doors to education, healthcare, and global trade, creating new opportunities for everyone. PIDA has already impacted millions, creating thousands of jobs, enabling regional trade, and setting the stage for a prosperous future. But we are only beginning. While we acknowledge the progress made, our focus remains on the work that still lies ahead. We need all hands on deck from our member states, international investors, and other stakeholders. This ongoing commitment is not just about building infrastructure, but about shaping the future of Africa in a way that fosters long-term success and integration, including unparalleled return on investment for those who share our Agenda 2063 vision. Under the second PIDA Priority Action Plan 2021 to 2030, we're making significant strides in advancing 69 key regional infrastructure projects across Africa. This ambitious initiative includes 24 transport projects, 18 energy projects, 11 ICT developments, and 16 water projects, all designed to drive the continent's economic growth. And with a project infrastructure investment need of $170 billion annually, the time is now for investors to partner with PIDA to address the continent's infrastructure gap. Together, we can harness Africa's untapped potential, create shared prosperity for over 1.4 billion people. Future is Africa. Join us today. RG.
Of quality infrastructure in fostering economic growth, social inclusion, environmental sustainability, and regional integration cannot be overstated. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of investment required to meet core infrastructure development in developing countries is considerable. Therefore, we bridge the gap. We cannot rely solely on the traditional financing mechanisms. We must leverage innovative funding sources, especially public-private partnership and international financing options to turn over visions into reality. Poor physical and digital infrastructure remains the most formidable challenges to boosting intra-Africa trade and spur development. Inadequate financial resources and high investment costs are key impediments to Africa's infrastructure development. It has been registered that half of African population still lack of access to electricity, and millions of people have no access to clean drinking water. On top of that, a few people in the continent have access to all-weather road and railway network, and Africa is below the global average almost in all aspects. In Africa, there is a strong need to diversify the available sources of funding by developing domestic, regional capital and debt capital markets and boosting public-private partnership. The Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa, PIDA, is a multi-sectoral continental framework dedicated with overall objectives of coordinating and accelerating regional integration in Africa through infrastructure networking. PIDA gathering will serve as a platform for stakeholders to assess progress, solutions to meet Africa's infrastructure development so as to unlock growth. Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Ethiopia has initiated the reduce greenhouse gas emissions, founded on the belief of that the African continent should not bear the burden of emissions produced by other stakeholders. As PIDA focuses on regional infrastructure connectivity, Ethiopia is significantly contributing to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, one of the greenest. Additionally, the Ethio-Djibouti Railway, a fully electrified corridor, connects regional seaports with landlocked Ethiopia, enhancing logistical efficiency and regional trade. Furthermore, Ethiopian Airlines serves as a pivotal hub for Africa, not only in passenger transport, but also as a major cargo hub, facilitating connectivity across the continent. Many may not be aware that Ethiopia, despite being landlocked, boasts a shipping line with over 15 years of history, owning seagoing vessels that significantly contribute the trade facilitation in the maritime sector. Ethiopia's commitment to sustainable and inclusive infrastructure development is evident through these initiatives, positioning the country as a leader in the region's growth and connectivity. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our infrastructure must be designed to withstand the shocks of climate change, economic viability, systems that are not only robust but also adaptable. By investing in resilient infrastructure, we ensure that our communities can thrive even amidst adversity. It is also equally important to ensure that our infrastructure projects serve all segments of our society, especially the marginalized communities. Through accelerated infrastructure development, we can boost regional integration, enhance trade, improve connectivity, and foster economic growth across borders. Infrastructure projects that span multiple countries not only enhance regional cooperation, but also unlock the full potential of our continent. Therefore, we must advocate for policies that facilitate seamless movement of goods, services, and people across our nations. In this regard, Ethiopia is working on development of mega infrastructure projects that are contributing to the regional integration. As we engage in discussions over the next few days, let us focus on actionable strategies that will lead us towards a future where Africa's infrastructure is resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. Creative solutions as we forge partnerships that will drive our continent forward. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for your commitment to essential cause. Together, let us seize these opportunities to redefine Africa's infrastructure landscape, and pave the way for sustainable development that leaves no one behind. I thank you.
Please do thank His Excellency Dr. Ala Musume once again for
Thank you. Your Excellency, Ambassador Tai Serasi, President of the
NECA. It serves as a vital space to evaluate progress. Here's theme, fostering resilient and inclusive infrastructure for Africa's sustainable growth, leveraging transformative financing and regional integration, reflects our commitment to addressing Africa's pressing infrastructure needs, and the 2023 launch of the PIDA first 10-year implementation report in Nairobi. We convene here in Addis Ababa to deliberate reflect the tangible benefits of PIDA's efforts, but also they underscore the ongoing challenges we must address. Financing gaps, with only 82 billion mobilized, many projects struggle to reach bankability due to insufficient early preparation and persistent misconceptions about risk. Addresses partnerships and financing. Effective regional coordination, ladies and gentlemen, is essential, as evidenced by the success of three: energy, transport, water, and digitalization must function as parts of a larger whole, creating synergies that drive sustainability and long-term impact. Coordinating efforts across these interconnected sectors ensures that every road, bridge, or power plant becomes a vital link in a broader network that uplifts communities and fuels economic growth. In addition, local ownership brings another layer of importance to this agenda. Infrastructure must belong to the communities it serves. It can private partnerships that include local businesses and empower communities, unlock possibilities for genuine engagement and ongoing maintenance. Strength not only viable, but cherished as engines of growth and transformation. The ultimate purpose of PIDA, ladies and gentlemen, is not confined to constructing physical structures. True essence lies to enable us into the next stealing for prosperity, opportunity, and progress. Let us seize and chart a path towards sustainable.
That was Her Excellency, Ms. Nardos Bakala Thomas, the Chief Executive Officer at the African Union.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellency, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency, Honorable Ministers, Heads of African and international institutions, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by thanking the people and government of Ethiopia for the collaboration and the warm welcome in hosting this outstanding event, and the warm welcome that was reserved to all our guests and their delegates. This edition of PIDA Week sustainability of all the investment that we have put into these infrastructure. So to maintain a steady flow of investment and ensure that infrastructure can withstand climate-related challenges, it is crucial to integrate climate resilience and digitalization. Climate communities need to be strengthened to accelerate project implementation. Monitoring needs to be, we wish it to be happening. Third, monitoring needs to be, we wish it to be happening. Third, I call upon all our countries to foster partnership with the private sector engagement, enable additional resources here at the Commission in order to develop the second phase of the PIDA months. And I did just say 2 years. The approval happened in 2021, exactly the same session of the Executive Council where I was re-elected. Hence, the second phase of the PIDA program, as I said, hold a special place in my heart, not to mention that I have projects and to whom we are accountable. I wish to Development Bank and Afrexim Bank, but last and not least, to thank the leadership of AUDA NEPAD for their guidance and for their unwavering support in order to make sure that our programs at the African Union and the African Union Commission are implemented and are helping Africa move forward. With this, I thank you and I wish you a fantastic PIDA program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was
programs at the African Union and the African Union Commission are implemented and are helping Africa move forward. With this, I thank you and I wish you a fantastic PIDA program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Her Excellency, Dr. Amani Abu Zaid, the Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy at the African Union. Opening statement, please help me invite His Excellency, Musa Faki Mohammed, the Chairperson of the African Union.
Excellence Ambassadeur.
Excellency Selassie, the President of the Federal Democratic Republic of the African Union, Dr. Amani Abu Zaid, Commissioner in charge of Infrastructure and Energy at the African Union, Madame Nardos Bekele Thomas, the CEO of the Development Agency of the African Union, Excellency Gatete Claver, the Executive Secretary of the UNECA, distinguished representatives of the regional economic communities, ambassadors, high representatives of countries and institutions and partners of Africa, representatives of the private sector, representatives of African youth and networks of women networks, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and a great honor, and which is marked by the fourth industrial revolution, the African countries have initiated important reforms in the trade and the financial areas. Beyond our economies, such programs should attract investments, which is vital for the continent. By learning lesson from the appropriate experience of NEPAD, the second 10-year plan of the implementation of Agenda 2063, in fact, has put forward priority infrastructures for growth and inclusive. Despite our constant and intensive efforts, we have to say that we are still assailed by enormous challenges and initiatives of our men and women, and we need to generate more than $20 million. And if we add 61.1% of African workers in Sub-Sahara, they work with and earn more than less than $2 per day, and we obviously need to urgently bridge this gap. Obviously, the development of our infrastructures will obviously be a response to such exigencies. The enterprises are the catalyst for the regional and world enterprises. The SMEs in infrastructure and energy are the, in fact, crucial area that is AFCFTA is going to bring about economic and regional growth. Its operationalization includes its rules of origin, African trade with an African population which is about 1.2 billion inhabitants and will by 2050 reach 2.5 billion. So our market is another lever for a sustainable development, but it is to promote integration and sustainability. By stressing resilience and sustainability, PIDA affords opportunities for shared prosperity. The principles of ownership and partnership, which is at the very heart of PIDA, strengthens and builds the capacity of Africa for its development. And in this regard, I want to express my high appreciation for this program. These programs are essential in order to strengthen, consolidate peace, development, and by having cross-border mega projects which will integrate and the progress of executing integrative projects, Africa, in fact, should be able to use the opportunities and seize the opportunities of Agenda 2063. We together have to intensify our efforts and consolidate our base, with our economic base for an integrated, socially inclusive and ecologically resilient continent. Thus, we will show that PIDA remains of sustainable, lasting infrastructure.
Excellence, Monsieur Musafaki Mohammed, President, but I just wanted to say thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment we have our guest of honor, and to help me welcome the guest of honor, I do request Her Excellency, Mrs. Nardos Bekele Thomas, to
great honor and privilege for me to really respectfully, as the President, coming here and accepting this thing.
Thank you, my sister, Excellency Nardos Bekele, Your Excellency Musa Faki Mohammed, Chairperson of the African Commission. Mr. Chairperson, I'd like to seize this opportunity, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ala Musime, Minister of Transport and Logistics of Ethiopia, Your Excellency Dr. Amina Abu Zaid, Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy of the African Union Commission, Your Excellency Nardos Bekele Thomas, Chief Executive Officer of the African Union Development Agency, Your Excellency Ambassador Cliver Gadidi and Africa, Excellencies Ministers, Heads of Delegations, Ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you to the 8th PIDA week and extend my warmest greetings to you all here in Addis, to your home city. The theme of this year's PIDA week, fostering resilient and inclusive infrastructure for Africa's sustainable growth, accentuates the pivotal role of infrastructure in propelling the socio-economic transformation of our continent. It has become evident that investing in infrastructure holds the key to unlocking immense potential for growth and development, enhancing connectivity, and elevating the quality of life through increased trade and investment. Excellencies, PIDA represents the bedrock of our collective pursuit to realize the ambitious goals outlined in Agenda 2063. It aims not only to forge stronger ties between African countries, but also to stimulate inter-Africa trade and establish the essential infrastructure necessary for long-term prosperity. Let me seize this opportunity to recognize the African Union Commission, the African Development Planning and Coordination Agency, the African Development Bank, and AUDA and 8th PIDA, all of which serve as a critical catalyst for Africa's infrastructure development and economic integration through PIDA. The progress we have achieved thus far is evident in the many transformative projects underway.
from transnational highway to energy corridors. Notable successes including, as mentioned earlier, the North-South corridor, which connects Tanzania's Dar es Salaam port with Zambia and the DRC, and the LAPSET, and the Central Corridor linking Burundi, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda, as well as the recently inked agreement to connect Ethiopia and South Sudan. These corridors will significantly enhance mobility, bolster trade, and create new avenues for regional cooperation. However, we must acknowledge that the road ahead is not without its challenges. Financing remains a formidable challenge in scaling infrastructure across our continent. To address this, we must embrace innovative financing models such as public-private partnership, regional investment funds, and particularly strengthening African financial multilateral institutions would help in best implementing PIDA action plans. As we reflect on the significant infrastructure development taking place as part of PIDA Phase 1 and 2, Ethiopia's investment in roads, railways, and renewable energy are transforming the country's infrastructure. Over the last few years, Ethiopia has built almost about 27,000 kilometers of concrete asphalt roads, which will serve connectivity within ourselves and also with our regional sisterly countries and beyond. The Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway, the first cross-border electrified railway in Africa, has improved regional connectivity, reduced transportation costs, and promoted important export strategic commodities. Ethiopia plays a pivotal role in East African power pool, contributing significantly to regional energy security by facilitating the exchange of electricity with other East African power pool member countries. We are also exploring opportunities for joint power projects with neighboring nations, such as cross-border transmission lines. Along these lines, as mentioned earlier, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the Koisha hydropower dam in the south, stands as symbols for our commitment to harnessing Africa's resource for sustainable energy. Excellencies, as we embark on this journey, I call upon all stakeholders to renew their commitment to the PIDA agenda, particularly concentrating on the following 4 points is essential. This pretty much corroborates with what Dr. Nardo said earlier. The most critical issues are policy, partnership, and finance. And of course, it aligns with what our sister Amina said earlier, building synergies among institutions, particularly with the private sector, is indeed critical to further strengthen the PIDA agenda. Having said that, the 4 critical issues which might be taken as a point of deliberation and discussion could be: first, we must enhance infrastructure connectivity through innovative solutions. Let me share Ethiopia's experience by leveraging strategic assets such as Ethiopian Airlines. Just one example. We have launched the Sea Air Cargo project, connecting our airlines with the Djibouti ports and Free Zone Authority. This innovative solution offers twice as cheap as the air only and twice as fast as the sea freight. Unprecedented speed and cost-effective result as a result of implementing this innovative program. This is just one instance exemplifying Africa's potential to revolutionize trade and drive economic prosperity. Second, fostering political will and regional integration is essential. To fully realize the potential of PIDA Phase 2 and achieve multi-sectoral inter-African infrastructure connectivity, we need strong political commitment and regional cooperation. It is important that airlines in Africa should not encounter to accessing African skies in view of our collective commitment to the vision of open African skies, and of course transform based on the Agenda 2063. Third, we must harmonize policies and regulations. While infrastructure connectivity is crucial, it must be complemented by a unified regulatory framework to streamline cross-border trade and investment, facilitating seamless movement of goods and services. Finally, we need to harness the power of digital technology, investing in digital infrastructure and enhancing our competitiveness. Port and logistics sector as a driving force for prosperity. We are quickly improving e-commerce and financial technology to optimizing trade, investment, and all our partners for their unwavering support of the PIDA initiative. As we also gather here in Addis, which indeed exemplifies